I'll be Paris, you be Brittany. How about that? We need a
Okay.
Lindsay. I want to be Lindsay, actually. Let me pull up some cigarettes and shit.
Oh, I want to be Nicole.
She's not even in the car, but you know what? You can be Nicole. We'll do it.
I want to be Nicole waiting, chain smoking for them to get there.
Boy, it's chaotic.
Let's get crazy.
Wow, wow, wow.
Let's think of our intro, I guess. Hello, my name is Zach.
And I'm Troy.
And welcome to Troy and Zach Chaotic. This is fun. We're going to react to some stuff today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna dive into the old rehearsal pond, which I love.
Yeah, this year there's been a lot that's come out about everything. Somebody started the dam breaking, right? Somebody was the dam breaker and said, they can't sue all of us. They can't, like anybody who
True.
signed an NDA, they can't do all of us. And so somebody started leaking everything. And then we got this. What we're going to react to today is the 2007 VMA Rehearsal. There was already one out with her in like a white tank top and some jeans on and a hat. And
Yeah.
this one, she's got a fucking ponytail, and I about lost my shit seeing that damn ponytail. Okay.
The folklore of this evening is just so. I've been doing VMA rewatches for Dunzo,
Yeah.
and just like learning all of the relearning like what happened at the actual award and not just during Britney's performances has like been really crazy. This award show, I haven't done it yet, but it just is like I can't believe it was real.
Yeah.
I
Have
can't
you
believe
have
it
you
happened.
rewatched this one yet?
Not in its entirety.
Where would you even find that, Troy? Where do I go to find the 2007 VMA, like the whole thing, the whole shebang?
I have found them on the YouTubes and I will send it to you.
Okay, thank
I
you.
will link
Thank
you.
Thank you. Linking me to his illegal sites. It's probably on the Pornhub.
All you got to do is just allow your computer to go to the dark web and you'll be able to find it.
Absolutely. So Brittany, she's just such a relatable person, right? Like everybody loves how relatable she is. Just we all feel like we see something in Brittany. And she's always been like everybody's always commented on how like light and bubbly she is. She really does have like exude such like an abundance of light, right? Like she is just that person.
Yeah,
Even her name, Britney Spears, it's like fun, bubbly,
right.
But she has a fair amount of darkness in her, and it's always been there. And you can
Yes.
see it at different moments, but you cannot see it as much as you can during the blackout era. And this is why it's one of my favorites. It's like even more relatable, right? Because there's a darkness living in all of us. I don't know. I love seeing these little rehearsal things and all that when it's not so much. She's going a little bit off book, right? Because she's kind of just
Yeah,
rehearsing. She didn't think this was going to be aired 20 years later.
right.
She didn't think we were going to be watching this.
Yeah.
But you see those little bits, come up. And I love it. So, like, this was when 2007, September 2007 was the Gimme More performance. That's already legendary. I do not think it was ever nearly as bad as everybody said, right? But the rehearsal one, the ponytail alone is this one is the one I will always watch now. This is the 2007 VMA for me.
No, but you're right though. I mean, she honestly looked fine. It's like Britney at her absolute worst, especially
God,
during this time, was like what most people would kill for.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, like I said, we were so used to seeing her as this perfect image, this
Hmm.
perfect body, perfect everything, constantly beautiful, like a literal real life Barbie doll.
Yeah.
And it's like, a person is like not rocking 8 abs and you're like, oh, they're fat.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people thought
That
she
we
was
thought she
fat.
was fat. What was that? What was that culture that we were all in this bubble of? I'm glad that the narrative around this sort of time is different now, right?
Yeah. It just sucks that she's always had to be like she's the person that we're constantly looking back on and being like, oh, sorry.
She has to be the pioneer of it, right? She has to be
Yeah,
our lesson plan moving
exactly.
forward. And, even with a performance like this, she was not boring. I think
Right.
the
Not at
mark of a
all.
really good performer and somebody you can't take your eyes off of is when even when they're not performing a game, are not boring. I love Taylor Swift. Do love Taylor Swift. We were just talking about Taylor Swift. And I love Taylor Swift. And great music. She's so fucking boring. She's like,
Yes.
I think her performances are boring, all of that. This couldn't take your eyes off of her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something controversial. I'm just gonna say it.
Okay, do it.
People are gonna be upset, but
I'm gonna
listen.
close my eyes.
Look, you look down. It's like I'll never forget the moment of Rihanna like laughing at her, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it took Rihanna like 10 years to like figure out how to perform.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Rihanna's early performances. Let's not forget Rihanna's early performances. It's like Britney on her worst day, which I guess was this day. Rihanna again would have killed to have that sort of stage presence for a long time. Now I love Rihanna. You know, I love Rihanna. AV, don't come for me.
Where's the album? Where's the album? It's people like you. That's why she's not doing a fucking album, Troy.
She gets online and then she has to see people like you. No, but I'm like, girl, you're laughing. I wouldn't.
No. Was she laughing at Britney or like the strippers that were on the pole?
I felt like she was laughing at her. She may have been laughing at the strippers.
Maybe.
I want to believe that.
A little benefit of the doubt here. We're going to change the narrative anyway.
I would like to believe
We're going
that.
to do it. But let's kind of get into it. This is the ponytail dress rehearsal that we got this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to do the VMA rehearsal that is like over an hour long. Might have to just do like a clip of it one day.
Yeah.
Because it's something. It's something. Whenever that came out, Troy, so he sent me a message. He said, listen to the beginning. She's talking shit.
I was like, Zach, listen with headphones. Put headphones in.
No shit talking in this one. She's just straight to business. All right. I'm going to count us down.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh man.
I know. Even the fact that like the camera moves the same way, it's like this is a full dress rehearsal.
Right.
I love it.
Oh my god. She is even just in that head turn. She's like feeling it.
She's fucking there.
Way more.
This is fucking Britney Spears, you know? And it's so crazy that even something as simple as a ponytail or like a blue contact lens just sends me wild. My blood is going.
I know.
I always heard though, so there was a lot of rumors that were dispelled with this leak, and I always thought that she had a different costume lined up, but I guess this was the costume the whole time.
Yeah, they claimed that she had this like handmade, hand bedazzled like bodysuit actually, that it was like a leotard. And that she last minute was like, no, I just want underwear. It's like, like that also sounds insane now thinking about it.
I mean, but I believed it. I've always believed that too.
Me too.
Because
I think I reported it.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I talked about it on Runzo. I was like,
canceled now. And I wonder if these were like, because this was a day or two before. Because I think I read that she had 2 rehearsal days. So she had one with the white tank top that we saw, and then this might have been the one the next day.
right.
Maybe I might be falsely reporting too, but I wonder if these were the extensions that she was supposed to have and what her hair was supposed to look like.
Oh god, the extension journey.
That's
of
a good
the
one.
whole. Oh
That was
my
a good
god.
one. Yeah.
That's a whole moment.
Because her hair's not this long, and it was like a quick turnaround that she had that, short like bob look or whatever.
Now the extension story, I believe.
I
believe that they
too.
were like last minute. Like I think they said that it was like a Nelly Furtado's hairstylist was walking by and they literally were like yoink, like, like you're out.
Yanked the extensions.
Britney kicked Kenny Caves out of the room.
Well, it's because the dude who was supposed to be doing the extensions gave that story, right? So I totally believe that one.
Yeah.
But like, look how on point she is. Like, she knows her moves. But also, this is like a different sort of dancing for Britney that we keep talking about from era to era. This is Britney dancing. She has been a pop star her whole life at this point, basically.
Yeah.
And she knows how to hit her mark. She knows what to do. She's like been there, done that. There's still the energy there and the fire there, but she's also like, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, kind of just like, I'm going to go do something after this. So let's run through the rehearsal and let's get through it.
It's crazy too that she's still so, like, she clearly doesn't care that much, but she's still so magnetic.
Absolutely.
Like, she's one of those people that's just born with whatever that thing is, that you're just meant to be a famous person.
Yeah. And I think she just had some fucking confidence, man. Like, she just has confidence here, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This is the one that I'm gonna pretend is the real one.
Rhonda's not in this one.
Yeah. Not even in the room.
Not even in the room. Just one more.
Yeah, like, that was...
Look. Oh, that was cute, Brittany.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. It was so good. And this is the reaction she should have got, too.
Wow. How different things could have been.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, and it's like, you know, and also it's like people I feel like don't take into account that she was just like, didn't even want to be performing in the first place. Her mind just wasn't there. Like, she was just like, I'm not really into even being Britney Spears right now. You know?
And that's,
she made it clear.
Perfect way to say it, right? It's like, I'm just not wanting to be Britney Spears right now. But like, she had this project that she was, I have no doubt she was super excited to get Blackout out there, right? But it was also kind of like she wanted to do, like, there wasn't even a Beyonce thing, right? Like, Beyonce will surprise drop an album and didn't have to do any promo for or anything like that. But back then, they didn't really have that. So it was still sort of like, you know, there were still expectations with an album drop, right? So like, she probably did just want to drop it and not do anything else, because she had like the radio interview with Ryan Seacrest, right? She did this. Yeah. She had a couple of videos, but she didn't do much with this era. Like, she kind of just wanted it to be out there.
Yeah. Like, she just wanted it to be an album that was out and like have like a non-pop star album cycle.
And it would have been cool too. Like, I don't know, even like, but even something as like the 2007 VMA performance, I think it all just packages really well with Blackout, the whole Blackout era. It just it gives that darkness. Like, the color scheme in this is perfect. Like, anything, any sort of content that I'm consuming, I think of a color associated with it, and I love the color scheme going around with this, because it reminds me of that darkness that was kind of in her and that was bubbling to the surface, you know, and we could see it.
I agree with that. It does definitely have like a visceral sort of vibe. Like, when you think of Blackout, you do think of like black and red, and you know, her hair being, I know her hair was blonde in this, but like, you think of her hair being dark.
Wish it would have been dark in this.
Me too. That would have been so good.
They were just, her team was so pushing the Britney Spears. I wonder, and I'm sure she got final say on all of it, right? But like, I wonder if nobody, because I guarantee there were people in her ear, I wonder if nobody had been in her ear, what her vision for it would have looked like. How would she have looked? Would she have the dark hair? Would she... Could you imagine people losing their shit over her doing the VMAs with dark hair?
With dark hair. Maleficent Britney.
Wild. I love that, Troy. I love that. Maleficent Britney. I love it.
It would have been so cool. And then also, we have to talk about the alleged Chris Angel of it all, right?
Where was that? What did that look like? What was going to happen? She was partying with him the night before she actually did it. So where was that? Who made that decision? Somebody cut it.
You know, I always think about, so I love The Girls Next Door, and I love Holly Madison and Kendra and stuff.
Yeah.
And I read Holly's book like a bunch of times, and she talks about how Chris Angel like just obsessively talked about Britney all the time. Like, morning, noon, and night, it was all he talked about. Was like, you know, me and Britney hooked up. I know Britney. I was gonna do Britney's 2007 VMAs. Like, it was the only thing that he ever wanted to talk about, and I think about that all the time.
No, absolutely. I mean, if your big lifetime highlight was Britney Spears being in your life for 2 weeks, I would be talking about it all day too.
Yeah, totally. Like, oh, he's relatable suddenly.
But also, like, I remember his show, and I think about that show blended with this performance, and what would that have been? Is he just gonna like float across the stage like that, and Britney's gonna walk over with her ponytail and just give me like do this under him to prove there's no string,
putting him in a block of ice and like sealing it for 27 days, and that's the performance. Like, you know what I mean? Remember, he used to like trap himself in things.
Said, I just want more, opens her mouth and a pigeon flies out or something.
I do remember reading something about birds. There was supposed to be some kind of bird thing, which maybe thank God that, you know, it's like,
It could have been so different. I don't know, but it would. I think it would have even matched, you know, because Vegas, magic show, like all the lights, like Vegas is a perfect sort of tone for this album anyway. And Chris Angel was like undoubtedly a staple of Vegas at that time. So I mean, it would have been a really perfect snapshot of 2007.
Well, I have to ask you a question that might be painful. Do you ever think about young Britney performing songs from this album? Do you ever go there?
Like like mixed and matched Britney's, right? Yeah, I have
Yeah.
mixed and matched them. Yeah.
Mix and match Britney.
I have done that, but I've never done a younger Britney in this era or in this performance. What does yours look like? Because you brought up this weird fucking question, so I'm curious what you're gonna say about it.
Well, I think about like Me Against the Music era Britney
Okay.
and like that level of choreography that she was pulling off,
Mhm.
right? And just if, let's say, this did have a traditional Britney album cycle, what it would have looked like for Britney Spears to be performing Piece of Me, like Gimme More, I just all like Heaven on. Imagine Britney doing Heaven on Earth.
Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
really, really love the way the album was kind of already put. You know what my favorite thing about like Piece of Me was, and the video is that it was clearly the Britney everybody wanted, or that everybody was saying this should be the Britney you should be, right?
Mhm.
You know, skinny. We're gonna see her belly. You're gonna have long blonde hair.
Right.
But it was almost like her dressing up as Britney Spears, going in, and there's just this whole different aura around her still, right? And she
Yeah.
knew that, and she was conscious of that. And it was like, you know, the scene where she's in the bathroom and like she's doing the little dance and her hair keeps going from up to down, like perfect example of like that's you want Britney Spears. Here's, you know, the hair flipping and here's the hair up, flipping up, flip, like. And I feel like this whole sort of blackout era was kind of like that. It was like dressed up as Britney Spears, something recognizable if you at first glance, but you keep watching, and it's almost something you don't even want to look at, right? It's something like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to see this. This isn't right. This doesn't feel
Yeah.
right. But then you can't look away. A whole ass commentary on Britney Spears, the pop star. You know, this is what you think Britney Spears is.
Especially during that time because we weren't used to seeing her any other way. So the idea that she would be anything other than, like we said, you know,
Yeah,
belly
and-
showing, long blonde hair, it was like scary almost.
Yeah, and me against like a Me Against the Music Britney like dance style with this. I don't even know if that would fit because I think the drunken, like even if she's like completely sober dancing, there is like a sort of drunken swagger to the dance moves,
Right.
that just like, oh my god, again you like, it's like should I be watching this? This doesn't feel right.
Because it's like a drunk, like Sex in the Club album.
Hazy, smoky,
Yeah, it's sweaty,
you know.
like, and I also, you brought up the Piece of Me music video, and I always say, like, I do think that people of a particular age interpret that video differently because,
Yeah.
like, if you were old enough to watch Britney interact with the paparazzi every day,
Yeah,
like, that was paparazzi Britney in that
Mhm.
video.
it was.
When she just randomly decides to put on aviators that weren't even a part of the, you know, like, that's Britney stealing a lighter. You know what I mean? Like,
it is, and you know the story to the backstory to that video, and the, you know, how she showed up late and just kind of did it, but when she showed up late, she did it and got it done,
Yeah.
and like that's what it feels like when you're watching it. It feels like she's doing the damn job. She's there doing the pop star thing as she has to do it, but she's not going to
Yeah.
give you the Britney Spears you always wanted, right? She's not going
Yeah.
to give you the comeback Britney, which is so weird anyway because she never went anywhere. She was always
Never
doing
left.
something. She did the M&M's tour like months before this anyway. Like, she was always doing something. I think people just wanted that Britney, you know, the teenage
Yeah.
Britney. And she's like, I'm 25, 26 years old. That's not me, you know?
it's not a comeback. This isn't like, I mean, people were talking about her like she was like about to enter her, you know, Barbara Streisand greatest hits era. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, she's a 25-year-old girl who has never, ever, ever had a moment of not being in the public eye,
Yeah.
not having an album cycle, not being on tour. Like, it's a testament, honestly, to her impact
Mhm.
that when I look at the public at that time, I really do see it now as panic. I
Yeah.
think that people were so reliant on Britney as a public figure and as a staple, and as she makes the VMAs great, she releases great music. She was like pushing the needle constantly.
Yeah.
And when that was threatened, we literally panicked at the
Yeah.
idea that we wouldn't have her. And we all freaked out and ripped her to shreds.
Absolutely. And like I mean, I would never exempt myself from any of that too, because I remember watching it
Right.
and thinking, what the hell? Because I would be on YouTube watching paparazzi videos and like all of it, and I'd be like,
Mhm.
what is happening? Who, like, again, should I be watching this? This doesn't feel right. This is not
Yeah.
what I want right now. Britney's not really a greatest hits kind of artist.
Right.
When she goes on tour and performs some of her like older hits, like back then it kind of worked, like Dream Within a Dream tour, or like on the Oops tour if she did baby stuff, it worked. But you see kind of like the Vegas show, which was still good. I liked the Vegas show.
Right.
But you see her perform Gimme More on the Vegas show. It has like a weird tone in that Vegas show now, right? Like
Yeah.
it was,
Because you can't recreate that magic.
yeah. There's just something that is like missing. And you look at Britney, and the reason her like discography is so good is because you can look at each sort of one. I guess this goes for a lot of artists, but you go through each sort of one, and it like totally embodies. You can see a person there, and like what was happening. You see Baby One More Time, and it was like this accidental, like, this is fucking fantastic, right? But she was
Right.
still like so homely.
Right.
So homely, basketball clothes, you know, like all of that. They realized they had a pop star on their hand. They put her into Oops, I Did It Again, and it's so glossy, like, you know, lip gloss, like everything. So glossy, you see a person being dressed in all of this stuff. And it's like almost like too stiff to move, right? For her.
Right.
Like she can't even move out of this like sort of mold that she's put in that one.
Yeah.
And then it like keeps going, you know? Each album has that. And the Blackout album, I think she's probably closer now in life than she ever was to that album. I mean, aside from being in that sort of time period. I'm like rambling.
No, but I'm like,
Do you
I'm
get what
into
I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah,
though?
I do. Yeah.
And I think now, if she made something, I could totally see her doing like a Blackout Sister album. Like I see that again. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Which Circus was supposed to be, but it was a fake sister album. We went a real
I
one.
still loved it though. I mean, I guess
Circus is great, but it's not. You know, back in the day, they tried to make it seem like it was going to be like this is Blackout 2.0. It's like, you know, but it's not. It's not Blackout 2.0. It's I love Circus, but it is a gimmick album.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And you see the cover of that album, and her face looks so pained. Perfect sort of little image for that. Perfect. You know, she didn't want to do that fucking album. We would have never gotten Circus had she not been in that conservatorship.
No, never in a million years. That is peak conservatorship content.
Where do you think she'd have gone after Blackout?
'Cause
she was beyond the original doll already.
She was already beyond that. I'm telling you, I think the natural progression would have been Britney would have transitioned into. I say this so often, I feel like everybody knows what I'm gonna say, but she would have transitioned into like a Ray of Light thing. She would have transitioned into a more velvet rope Ray of Light thing where like it wasn't about being an entertainer. Like I think she had a lot to say. You know what I mean? And I think she would have put an album out that was like much more, you know, emotional and like thought focused and like less about dancing.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And I think that's a great question for the comment section. You know, what do y'all think? What would Britney Spears, the artist, have looked like after Blackout had there been no conservatorship? So I guess that's that. Yeah. Thank you for doing this one with me, Troy. I'm really excited about
great.
This one.
I'm so happy you chose this. This is amazing.
It was a good one. Yeah. As always, if you have any recommendations, put them down below, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.